Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Deb C, and place to be, it's Deb C. Bloop, that's me. Day after the Oscars, Deb C. Bloop. Hey guys, and happy Monday. I hope everybody is having a wonderful week so far and a great day. I took today off ahead of time. So I'm here a little earlier doing a video. And that video, of course, is my reaction to the 98th Oscars telecast last night. Let's get into it. This has nothing to do with the Oscars, but I was like, why in the world is Jesse Palmer on the red carpet? Because I did watch E, but then I tuned in closer to 7 o'clock to ABC. And I was like, why is Jesse Palmer on the red carpet? But it's probably because they ran a promo for the new season of The Bachelorette starring Frankie Taylor Paul, you know, from the Mormon Wives. And so that is probably why. And it's going to be on, it sounded to me like The Bachelorette is going to be airing on Sundays, which is crazy, which is weird, which is odd. Okay, so let's get right into it. The opening sequence for the Oscars last night with Conan O'Brien playing Aunt Gladys from Weapons, and then getting chased by all the kids throughout, like, each of the nominated Best Picture, you know, the films that were nominated for Best Picture. I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was one of the best openings in a while. I thought on a whole that Conan O'Brien did a very good job. I would not be upset to see him hosting every year. Like at the end of the show, they did a thing where it was, if you watched, if you stayed up, if you didn't, I'll explain. But at the end, when it was all done, they had like a little closing where somebody came up and said, we love what you did. You know, you were great. We want you to host for life. And then he went into an office. They closed the door, and then this like green smoke came down, and he was no more. And it was a riff on the ending of One Battle After Another. And I thought that was cute. I thought that, not cute, I thought that was funny too. And I'm thinking that they probably filmed like one of those for each of the films in case it won. That's what I'm thinking. But I thought he was excellent. I thought he was very good, and I would be okay with him coming back. Okay, so we're going to go over who won. I did pretty decent. There were 24 awards, and I got 21 right. So I missed 3. Okay, so Best Actress in a Supporting Role, it went to Amy Madigan. She played Aunt Gladys in Weapons. I loved Amy Madigan's speech because what is in her head came out of her mouth. Like, she was like, I was in the shower last night shaving my legs. I didn't even need to because I'm wearing pants. And she thanked, I did not know, up until a couple weeks ago, I did not know that she was married to Ed Harris. She thanked her husband. She thanked all the people she needed to thank, and she thanked dogs. And if somebody thanks dogs and is a dog lover, then yes, I am a fan of yours instantly. But I also loved how she really, to me, she had said that she didn't have like a large cast around her in her movie. So like Wunmi and Tiana and everybody in the category, all the other women in the category kind of like took her in. And to me, it seems like in this speech and in her speech for the Actors Award, she comes off to me, she seems to me like she, number one, loves her craft, and number two, she just wants to lift others up. You know what I mean? So I was not upset. I was not upset that Amy Madigan won at all. She was fantastic in that movie. She honestly, she carried that movie, and she was only in it, I believe, for like 13, a little over 13 minutes, I think. But I will tell you, the movie is the only movie that I did not see that had an actress nominated in it in supporting. I did not see Sentimental Value. Tiana Taylor, excellent, despite the fact that I don't like this. I don't like the script that was written for her. She was phenomenal with what she had. Wunmi Masaka was the heart of that film. She was beyond amazing. But the thing that I loved about this was when Amy Madigan won and they were showing the reactions of the women who were nominated along with her in the category, Tiana Taylor immediately jumped up and started clapping. I love that. I love seeing women supporting women. She is a great win. She is a good winner, and she is not a sore loser, and I love that. That's one thing that I love about Tiana Taylor. Regardless of who won, she jumped up and she was cheering for everybody, and I love that. Okay, next came animated feature film, and that, no surprise, went to K-pop Demon Hunters. Animated short film. I chose incorrectly here. Animated short film. I picked Butterfly, and it went to The Girl Who Cried Pearls. Okay, next they had best costume, or wait, what was it? It was best costume, hair and makeup, and did they get production design here? Anyways, and this is what I loved. They had Anne Hathaway and Dame Anna Wintour coming out. And this was cute. I really did enjoy this. And that's just because the Devil Wears Prada 2 is coming out May 1st, I believe. So I love that they did that. And she was a very, it kind of surprised me that Anna Wintour was there, because Miranda Priestly is based on Anna Wintour. She was taking it very well. I would not have expected that, but I enjoyed this. Okay, best costume went to Kate Hawley from Frankenstein. I missed this one. I picked Sinners with Ruthie Carter. Hair and makeup went to Frankenstein as well. Crazy, because Jacob Elordi had to sit in hair and makeup for he spent a total of 400 hours in the makeup chair for that makeup. Amazing. Okay, casting, this was one that if there were some categories last night that I would have bet, I wouldn't say that I would have bet like a paycheck on it, but casting is one that I would have probably bet like $100 on. I was so sure it was going to be Sinners, and I was so wrong. It went to One Battle After Another. But here's the thing, and that when it went to One Battle After Another, that is when I was like, oh, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think, for people who were saying Sinners is going to win Best Picture, this right here is when I was like, nope, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen for Sinners. But the one thing that I did love about this was the Academy brought out one person from each of the nominated films, from each of the films that was nominated for a casting. And they had that person speak directly about and directly to the casting director in their film. I love that. Also, listen, on a side note, Wagner Moura, hooray, yum, yum. I did not know he was attractive. Okay, that's it. So it was, so I got that one wrong. I went to one battle after another. Okay. Next was, best live action short film. Okay, and I partially got this right. But also, I have a note here. One of the short action films was Jane Austen's period drama. Now, in my mind, I know that it has to do with like, you know, Jane Austen being like a period piece. But in my mind, I was like, wait. Do they mean like period as in era? Or do they mean like a woman's time in the month? I was like, what? But no, it would have to be like period, meaning like an era, like a block of time. Okay, so this one right here, this is The Crazy Town. I'm gonna count this as getting this right. There was a tie, and the woman who came up and spoke on behalf of one of the winners had said something like, that this was only the third time that a tie had happened. And I thought I had heard that the last tie happened in like 2012 or something like that. So the winners were The Singers. I did not pick that. And Two People Exchanging Saliva. And did I pick that one? I did. Okay. So the winners for best live action short film was a tie. It was The Singers and Two People Exchanging Saliva. Okay. Next up was best supporting actor. I got this right. That this was Sean Penn. Sean Penn for playing Colonel Stephen Lockjaw in One Battle After Another. Sean Penn was not there. And I think it was Kieran Culkin who accepted, and he's like, I'll accept this on his behalf because he didn't say either he's doing something, but he did say, or he just doesn't want to be here. Then come to find out that he was actually, there was a video that came out that was put out by like Ukraine Railways or something like that. He's in the Ukraine. I believe in 2022, he made a documentary about the conflict, the war in Ukraine. And he even gave President Zelensky like one of his Oscars. What's he gonna do with that? Like, to be honest with you, this is where I have some things to say on this. Okay, number one, this was anticlimactic because you watch because you want to see, like, you want to see them get excited. You want to hear their speech, but there's nothing. It's just like he won and then that's it. I believe that he was at one of the awards this year. But he really kind of wasn't, because he sat there, he smoked a cigarette, and he really didn't seem like he cared much. He won at the Actors Awards. He won at BAFTA. He wasn't, I know he wasn't at the Actors, and I believe I had heard that he was not at BAFTA, the BAFTA Awards. So here's how I'm conflicted. Was he like worthy? Was his performance worthy of winning an Oscar? It was, because here's the thing. His character was my most hated character of the year. Like, hated him. Just vile. A vile character. It was a flashy performance. It was the kind of performance that the Academy will reward. So his performance was worthy. However, if you're not going to give that respect and show up, I kind of wish that they would just give it to someone who did show up. Like, I wouldn't have been upset if they would have given it to Delroy Lindo. Delroy Lindo he was a long shot to win. He was so good. He was just like so good in Sinners. Give it to anybody who was there. I mean, and if you're not going to be there, and if you don't care about the award, can they just, I wonder if they can just decline it. Like, say, no, thank you, I don't want this. You know? But either way, Sean Penn won. And I was right about that one. Okay, next was adapted screenplay. This was no surprise. This went to Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another. Before his nominations here, he was, for his 3 nominations last night, he had been nominated 11 times. So Paul Thomas Anderson won for One Battle After Another. The one that I was really excited about was Best Original Screenplay. That went to Ryan Coogler for Sinners. I have written here, if Coogler loses, we fucking ride. And we would have rode if he didn't win that. So when he won Best Original, which was, that was this one right here, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Original Screenplay, I would have put more than $100 down on these two winning. So when Ryan Coogler won, I was like, okay, there is a chance that Michael B. Jordan is going to win this. I was still not thinking that Sinners was going to win. So then after that, it was such a good in memoriam tribute. They had Billy Crystal came out. He paid tribute to his best friend, Rob Reiner, and Rob Reiner's wife. One thing I did not know, a couple things I didn't know. I didn't know that Billy Crystal had met Rob Reiner on All in the Family. And I did not know that Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle Singer, had worked so tirelessly on behalf of marriage equality in the U.S. I did not know that. That to me makes it just, that loss all the worse. Like, just, we lost 2 really good people. And then they brought out some of the cast members of his movies. Stand By Me, When Harry Met Sally, The Princess Bride, A Few Good Men. I love that. So that kicked it off. And then they had Rachel McAdams come out, she said a little bit about Catherine O'Hara, and she gave a beautiful tribute to Diane Keaton. And then Barbra Streisand came out and talked about Robert Redford, because she was in The Way We Were with him. And then she ended up singing part of The Way We Were, and I'm going to tell you. Oh, that was it. That was so sad. That was just beyond sad. That was so sad. And yesterday, I believe that I think in my video for the Daras, I might have said that Gene Hackman had passed this in 2025, but he did not. He had passed the year before, and he was actually, they did a tribute to him in memoriam on not last night, but the year before. Okay, next was set design. And this was presented by Sigourney Weaver and Pedro Pascal. Can we talk about Pedro Pascal? Pedro Pascal shaved his mustache. He looked like so much younger. That man, there's very few men that can go to an award show as big as the Oscars, not wear a tie, and I'm okay with it. the people that off the top of my head that can do that, Colman Domingo, because Colman Domingo does no wrong as far as dressing. Colman, let me say that again. Colman Domingo does no wrong. Colman Domingo is Colman Domingo. Like, that's just it. Don't come at me about Colman Domingo. That man is gold. Like, every time he sets foot outside for anything, the Oscars, the Golden Globes, the Critics' Choice, the Critic Choice Awards, BAFTA, whether he goes to Erewhon, whether he's pumping gas, whether he goes to Home Depot to buy a new toilet, he looks sharp. He is the moment. Colman Domingo is Colman Domingo. Okay, let me get off of that, Colman Domingo. But Pedro Pascal, hello. Just, oh, that all white. Oh, and the other man that can carry off no tie is Andrew Garfield. Oh, whew. But he had that all white, and then he had that big feathered brooch here or something. Oh my God, he was just phenomenal. Anyways, set design went to Frankenstein, which I got that right. Next up was visual effects. This was no surprise. It went to Avatar, Fire and Ash. Documentary short. This is where I shine. Is it shined or shown? This is where I shine, okay? Because I didn't see, no. I can't say I didn't see any of them. I saw one of the documentary feature films. But here's where I was like, oh, wow, look at me. So it was documentary short film. Winner was All the Empty Rooms. And documentary feature film went to Mr. Nobody against Putin. And I've written there, wow. And after they announced Mr. Nobody against Putin, I was like, I got that right? Whoa, look at me. The only one of those films I saw was The Perfect Neighbor, which everybody was saying The Perfect Neighbor is going to win. Okay, then they had a bridesmaid reunion. This ran a little long. This was a little much. Okay. So for original score, this is another one that I would have put big money on. Sinners won. It was Ludwig Göransson won for Sinners. I believe that they said that he had won before for Black Panther. He won at least once before. He did win for Black Panther. Okay. Sound went to F1. That's no surprise. The thing about that was whenever they came to pick up their award, they seemed like they were in the back, like in the cut. Like they had to walk down a little bit of steps. When I say a little bit of steps, I don't mean like 12. I mean like maybe like 1 or 2. But they were really up there. So F1 took home the award for sound. Editing went to One Battle After Another. I picked that. Cinematography. Yep. I did pick Sinners to win, and Sinners had won. Up until this point, listen, this is the one to me, because Ryan Coogler winning Best Original Screenplay, that was no surprise. But cinematography was up in the air between One Battle After Another and Sinners. And the reason why I loved, this was up until the end, my favorite win of the night was Autumn Gerald Arkapaw for Sinners, because she was the first woman of color to be nominated, and in winning, she is the first woman to win Best Cinematography. I fucking love that. That made at the time absolutely made my night. Never in my life would I think that I would get so freaking excited about Best Cinematography. I was because there was a point in her career, in her early career, where she had applied to school for this photographer, for cinematography, for photography. And she was denied. And even, like when she was applying for jobs, people were like, well, you don't have enough experience here and there. And Ryan Coogler was the one who had taken a chance on her, because this is not the first time she's worked with Ryan Coogler. She's worked with him before. And this proves that, listen, girls, for young girls out there, if you want to do something and people are telling you can't do it, don't listen to them, because look, she did it. You can do it too. I absolutely love this. Okay, international feature film. This went to Sentimental Value. I had picked Sentimental Value. Original song, no surprise, went to Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters. And because it won, it actually became the first K-pop song to ever win an Oscar. So, I mean, that was cool, but we all know I Lied to You to win. And let's talk about those performances, because Golden came a little later in the show. I feel like they put I Lied to You too early. Like, I was excited to see it, but I feel like it was too early, and now I'm thinking about it, did they put Golden like at the end because they knew it was the winner and they wanted to showcase it more? But that performance for I Lied to You, I was blown away by it in the film. But then they come and they recreate as best you can, because you can't have you can't have fire, and you can't have make it look like the barn's on fire or something. But I loved it. I absolutely just, I so wanted that song to win. I think that maybe Golden just won because it's everywhere and it's so popular. But yep, original score went to Golden. Best director went to Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another. Listen, I said it the other day. This has nothing to do with Paul Thomas Anderson's directing. I just don't like him as a person because of how he treated Fiona Apple when they were dating. I just hated it. He was a dick to her. Plus, I don't like the way that he wrote Teyana Taylor's character. I just hated it. But congratulations, I got that right. Okay, so listen, and then up comes Adrian Brody. He is going to pronounce the best actor. I like how last year when he won for best actor, his speech was just so long, and then he took the gum out of his mouth and gave it to his wife to hold, his wife or his girlfriend, his wife to hold, and then they tried to play him off, and he was like, no, stop. And he just was a dick. But he came back and he made fun of himself, and I thought, I liked that. I thought that was funny. But then come Best Actor. Now listen, when I tell you that I was not breathing before they announced Best Actor, I'm telling you, I held my breath. And in my mind, I just kept saying, Michael B, Michael B, Michael B, Michael B, Michael B. Please, Michael B. Jordan, Michael B, the whole time. And then when they said Michael B. Jordan, because I can't jump up real quick, I just screamed. Because I was so fucking happy that he won. I was beyond elated that he won. I was so happy. I was so happy. And then you see the reaction of people. And Leonardo DiCaprio was up and was clapping and was happy and was just so, even though he did not win, he was so supportive. And then I saw a video a little bit later on where maybe it was after Michael B. Jordan won, possibly, maybe, but like in between the I don't know when it was, but I saw Michael B. Jordan and Leonardo DiCaprio hugging. And I mean, Leo gave him a big hug, and you could tell that he was just supporting him and happy and like proud of him. And I loved seeing that. Like, it made me, you know that anything makes me cry, but it made me cry. And he got up there, Michael B. Jordan gets up there and gives this fantastic speech. And, you know, it's like, he just seems like a good guy, you know, like someone who he was like, you all took a chance on me, and you've stood behind me, and I want to do better for you, and I'm going to do the best I can for you. And he had done something like be kind, and I'm a strong believer of pouring back into the universe, and I'm only going to put good into the universe. Listen, Timmy could never, is all I'm saying. And there are people who are probably going to be like, well, the reason why Michael B. Jordan won is because Timothy Chalamet screwed himself over with his comments or with his ego. And I don't think his ego did him any favors, but Michael B. Jordan won this because his performance was beyond worthy. Like, he won this award based on his work. It doesn't have anything to do with what somebody else did off camera. It has to do with Michael B. Jordan. He did the work. He put in the work to play, because he didn't just play himself. He played Smoke, he played Stack, and then he played another character because he played Stack after he turned into a vampire. I mean, it got to the point where, to distinguish between Smoke and Stack, he held his face in such a way to make it so that he had dimples for one of them. He was amazing. End of story. He absolutely deserved that. Best Actress, no surprise, went to Jessie Buckley. Beautiful speech. And then Best Picture went to one battle after another. And people were like, Teyana Taylor needs to calm down with her reaction to winning that. She was excited. Listen, sure, she grabbed up on Paul Thomas Anderson's neck a little hard, but she was excited. Leave her alone. What the hell? I mean, your emotions take over. It was all good fun. She was excited. Whatever. So I thought it was a fantastic show. And at the end of it, one battle after another came out with 6 wins. Supporting actor, director, adapted screenplay, best picture, editing, and casting. Sinners came out with 4 wins, which is original score, original screenplay, cinematography, lead actor. Frankenstein had 3 wins. They were craft wins for production design, makeup and hairstyling, and costume design. K-pop Demon Hunters got 2. And I think F1 got 1. And guess what? Marty Supreme got 0. So there we go. Timmy in his all white. Okay, so I think tomorrow I'm going to break it down as far as the fashions go. In the comments, let me know what you thought. I did pretty good on my prediction. I went 21 for 24. All right, so let me know what you thought. And if nobody told you yet today, you're loved, seen, and heard, please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope and positivity out there in the world. So it comes right back at you. Let's always put kindness out there because it is free. Also, let's be aware of our surroundings, be smart and safe. We're going to hydrate all day extra with some water. And if you are in a dangerous situation, please know that Dolly and I are sending our love, thoughts, prayers, and positive energy your way so you make it through. I am going to head off now and watch Emily D. Baker as she covers the closing arguments in the Utah versus Corey Richins case. You didn't know that I liked the law, did you? Okay, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Bye.